Okay guys, in the browser when I type www.google.com, I get the web page of Google, okay, and then if I type amazon.in, I get the home page of Amazon, and then I get to see the list of all the products here. So what I want to know is what happens when I type amazon.in. After that, what are the set of events happens, and then because of that I'm able to see this page. So when you type amazon.in, so let's see, when you type amazon.in, usually we will analyze what happens. So for that, to see what is happening, right, you just right click, go to inspect in your browser. Okay, it will open a different tab. Okay, and click on network. Okay, and then you will have a list of a few things coming in. Okay, and then you can refresh your page. Okay, and then you get a lot of things coming in here. Okay, lot of things are there. Okay, so for now let's go to google.com. Okay, and then when you click this, right, when you click this google.com, I am able to see this headers. Okay, so what is all this and what is all happening here is what we will understand now. Okay, so whenever we type anything here, okay, we have to send a HTTP request to the web server. Okay, this web server is there on the internet. Now when you type google.com, you have to send the HTTP request to the Google server. Okay, to send a HTTP request, right, you have to understand networking now. Okay, you have done networking, right? So HTTP is basically a application layer protocol. Like in Linux, you have this user space, right? And then you have this kernel space, and then you have the hardware. Okay, all the Linux. So this is your client. This client I am drawing like this. So here you have your browser, Chrome. Here you have typed google.com. So HTTP request has to go from here, correct? Yeah. So for the HTTP request to go, right, you need to know the IP address of the server to send the HTTP request. Okay. So HTTP request, how the packet will go is, you will have a HTTP header. Okay, I will draw it here so that you know that. So you'll have a HTTP header. HTTP runs on TCP. So you'll have a TCP header. This TCP header, this HTTP header, and suppose you have some bodies, in case you have, or this HTTP header, this data alone, it will come from user space to kernel space in Linux, and then in the kernel space you attach this TCP header, and then you will have a IP header attached, and then you will have the layer 2 header attached. The layer 2 header can be Ethernet or it can be wireless. Okay, so send this packet out. In this IP header, you will have source IP and destination IP, right? To which system you are going to send the packet. So you need the IP address of the Google server. But you don't. How you know the IP address of Google server? You have typed only google.com, right? So you don't know the IP address of Google server. So how you find the IP address of Google server is, that is how you, in your system, you will have a domain name server configured. Okay, suppose you go here, right? You go to your network sharing center, you go to your adapter settings. Now I am getting internet through this interface, right? Through the wireless interface only I am getting this internet. This is the Ethernet interface. So here if I check into the properties, right? Okay, here I go to V4 and then check the properties. It is saying obtain IP address automatically. So basically I am connected to my mobile data. My mobile, mobile is giving me the IP address, right? It has a DHCP. So DHCP, when I connect, my PC is there. Okay, this is my mobile data. Okay, I am connected wirelessly here. So this mobile gives me the IP address through DHCP protocol, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This is how I get the IP address, right? when you have this, you go type IP config, right, in your command prompt, right? You go type IP config, you get to see the IP address. Correct here? You get to see the IP address here, right? This IP address, this is your system IP address, is given by the router you connected to this DHCP. Okay. Now, here you have an option to configure your own DNS server, or the DNS server also can be updated automatically. So the DNS server is updated automatically. Okay. So in your command prompt, okay, you can try it here also. IP config, okay, and then you can type again -all. Okay, here see what is the DHCP server, what your DNS server is. Okay, so your DNS server is 43.1, right? Okay, so what this DNS server does is, this DNS server is nothing but a dictionary. It will have this mapping, right? What mapping it has? Google.com. Okay, it will have an IP address for the Google.com. And Facebook.com, what is the IP address? So it will have this domain name and to the IP address mapping. Okay, so what happens when you type Google.com? You need to have the IP address of Google.com, right? So in your system itself, DNS server is configured. So to the DNS server, you send the DNS request telling that I want the IP address of mail.google.com. So what the DNS server will do, it will go to its dictionary, like to its database, and it will check for this mail.google.com what is the IP address, and that IP address it will send in the DNS response. Okay, your DNS response will have the IP address of your mail.google.com. In our case, it is google.com, right? This IP address, which will be used in your HTTP request. So before sending the HTTP request, you need the IP address. So the IP address is fetched from the DNS server by sending DNS request and getting the reply, and you send the HTTP request to your web server. Okay, so when you have more than so DHCP is used to give the IP address, right? You can also set the IP address statically. So instead of using this option, obtain IP address automatically, you can use this option and you can set your own IP address. Suppose I set my own IP address, right? My IP address is, let's assume that it is 3.2. Okay, I am setting this IP address 3.2. But that time 3.2 somebody will be occupying that IP address, because Freshgate would have given 3.2 some other people. So if you set it manually, you will be using the IP address which is already assigned to some other people. Correct? Which is a problem. Right? In a network, no two systems should have the same IP address. If two systems have the same IP address, it's a problem, right? You will also get a pop-up, right? Now and then IP address conflict, some pop-up will come in your Windows. So you cannot communicate, right? Each system should have a unique IP address, right? So that is the reason why you should not, when you connect to a network, you should not set your IP address statically like this. Instead, it's better to use this one. Okay, when you use this one, the advantage is the common guy, right? Your wireless router. The wireless router is going to give you the IP address, so there will not be any clash. That is the main use of DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol.